Okay, hello everybody. So we are doing another day on adding fractions again. So I think we're going to get started with a question. So just remember, these questions that we are going through, some of you will know what you're doing and that's absolutely fine, and some of you will want to watch these videos to give yourself a little reminder and a recap, and that's also fine. You have to do what suits you at home. But they're here for you to look at, to pause, rewind, watch again. They're there for you. So, adding fractions. So today, my example is going to be this one. We're going to have 1 2/5 plus 2 7/10. So just like last week, just like Friday, we've got two mixed numbers here. So we're still adding mixed numbers. All right? So, however your brain works, however you like to add these up, it's sort of up to you, but I'm just going to be showing you a method that you can use. I know some of you will be looking at this right now and you'll already be knowing what you're going to do. And again, it just depends on how your brain works, your number skills, and all sorts of things like that. So our first job today then is, we've got our mixed numbers. We're going to convert these into improper fractions to help us out a little bit, make them a bit friendlier. Don't get stuck in the trap. Some people will look at these two numbers and will automatically assume it's going to be a 3. It isn't always going to be a 3. So, first job, we've got our 5. See if you can remember this from last week when we did this. And again, those videos, the other help guides are still on our page for you to look at if you need it. So we're going to convert this now. So I'm going to look at this and I'm going to say to myself, 5 times 1, well that's 5. I'm going to pop my 5 up here. And then 5 plus 2 gives me 7. And I'm going to keep my denominator the same. I'm going to keep my sum the same. I'm now going to look over at this one and do the exact same. I've got 10. 10 times 2, well I know that is 20. Then goes to 20 plus 7, which gives me 27 over 10. Okay, so I've now got two improper fractions, slightly easier to work with. So I have to do a bit more to these fractions now. So have a little look at these. I've got 5 and a 10 as my denominator. And the rule with adding fractions or subtracting, when we move on to subtracting fractions, is your denominators must be the same. They must be the same. Now, I know that 5 and 10, these are quite friendly numbers, these are. I only need to change one fraction right now because I know that 10 is a multiple of 5. And because I know that, I'm going to keep this fraction the same. I'm going to write it over here. I'm just going to convert this and make it over the value of 10, just like over here. So I'm going to ask myself, how did 5 become 10? Times it by 2. 5 times 2 is 10. And whatever you do to the bottom, you do to the top. So 5 times 2 is 10. 7 times 2 is 14. So I've now got 14 tenths and 27 tenths. Much easier to work with now. So we keep our denominator the same. Pop the 10 down here. I've now got to add 27 and 14. Now, some of you can do this in your head, which is fine. Some of you might like to do a little bit of column addition. And as you start getting trickier larger fractions, you might find that you do have to do things like that, and that is fine. I'm just going to pop my column addition down here to help me out. 7 and 4, 11, and then we do 2 and 1 and 1, gives me 4. I'm happy, 41. So we've got 41 over 10, but we're not going to leave that as our final answer. This answer is correct, but there's a rule we talked about last week. Hopefully you can remember. But if my question has got mixed numbers in it, therefore my answer must be in mixed number form. So therefore, I have to do some conversion now, just like we did last week. So, luckily for us, 10 is a really nice number. We know our multiples of 10. You can jot these out anyway. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and so on. So remember, the line in a fraction, it's like a division sum. I know that I can get 4 lots of 10, because 4 times 10 is 40, and then it's what I'm left over with. So I'm sort of saying to myself, well, what is 41? Take away 40. Well, that's 1. And I always keep my denominator the same. So we end up with 4 and 1/10 as our answer. We always have to make sure that we simplify it, but we cannot simplify 1/10. 1/10 is the smallest it can possibly be. Okay, good luck everybody.